Good morning, televiewers on My Media Prime Television. Thank you so much for joining us once again on this other edition of The Brief, your favorite bilingual program which is dedicated to the review of striking headlines in the papers. On today's edition of the program, the newspapers are focusing on the New Year wishes that President Paul Biya will be receiving this day at the Unity Palace in Yaoundé. The papers are also interested in in the scandals rocking the Olembe Sports Complex. We are told the company that was supposed to execute the contract has finally given up, citing administrative bottlenecks and other issues. And yesterday, officials of the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education spoke on that issue regarding the Olembe Sports Complex. We shall dwell on that this morning. We shall equally open our lines for our televiewers to call and chip in their contributions regarding some of those major headlines as captured by newspapers, especially the New Year wishes as well as the scandal rocking the sports complex in Yaoundé. Gwladys Bomotonguina is here. Let's have the headlines in the French language newspapers. Bonjour Gwladys.
Bonjour Lasha, bonjour à vos fidèles téléspectateurs de Ma Media Prime Télévision. C'est un plaisir de vous retrouver pour cette dernière édition de la semaine de débrief. Alors ce matin nous débutons avec le journal Le Jour. Le journal Le Jour nous présente en grand titre le scandale national, pour parler ici du scandale du stade Olembe. En effet, le journal Le Jour l'a intitulé ce matin forfait à Olembe. Comment comprendre ce grand scandale de la République? Les détails sont donc en page 9 jusqu'à 10 du journal Le Jour ce matin. Nous poursuivons avec le quotidien Réalité Plus. Le quotidien Réalité Plus nous amène dans les services du ministère du Travail. Le ministre Joseph Lé remet donc 2 documents historiques au ministre Grégoire Orona. Les détails sont en page 6 jusqu'à 9 du quotidien Réalité Plus ce matin. Dans le même journal, à sa page 2 jusqu'à 3, le journal nous amène dans l'enseignement supérieur au Cameroun. L'enseignement supérieur donc à la découverte du centre de recherche en histoire donc à Yaoundé. Nous poursuivons, mesdames, messieurs, avec le quotidien ce matin. Le quotidien nous parle en grand titre du ministère du Travail et de la Sécurité sociale qui a donc à son manuel de procédure, Les détails sont donc en page 7 du quotidien ce matin. Mesdames et messieurs, nous clôturons avec la voix du consommateur. La voix du consommateur nous parle en grand titre de l'interdiction du whisky en sachet au Cameroun. Une bonne quantité a été détruite suite au décès de plusieurs personnes, notamment des jeunes. Le préfet du Mayo-Dani vient donc d'interdire la commercialisation et la consommation des whisky en sachet et autres breuvages frélatés. La Focaco lui a donc emboîté le pas en détruisant des sachets de whisky dans les rues de la ville de Douala. Les détails sont en page 2 jusqu'à 3 de la voix du consommateur ce matin. En page 5, le journal nous parle de la hausse des tarifs d'électricité. Arcel et Eneo crucifient donc le Made in Cameroun. Toujours dans la voie du consommateur, le journal nous amène dans le complexe sportif d'Olembe pour nous parler ici de l'abandon des travaux par McGill. Le MINSEP veut donc engager des procédures pour atteinte à la fortune publique. Les détails sont en page 8 de la voix du consommateur ce matin. En page 9, le journal nous parle de l'insécurité dans la ville de Douala. Un enseignant poignardé à mort et sa moto emportée. Mesdames, Messieurs, voilà pour vos titres ce matin en langue française. Place à la découverte de ces titres en langue anglaise et c'est avec toi, Lasha.
Thank you, Gwladys Bomotonguina. Let's kickstart this morning with the national bilingual daily Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune is interested in the New Year wishes President Paul Biya will be receiving today at the Unity Palace. Cameroon Tribune is taking keen interest on what will be happening at the level of the Unity Palace today, 2 years after President Paul Biya have not received New Year wishes due to COVID-19 pandemic. The President of the Republic, according to a note signed by the Director of Civil Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic, detailing how the events will unfold today. As per the program, the first set of people that will be received by President Paul Biya diplomatic corps, and of course at 12:45 p.m. to 1:25 p.m. will be the arrival and installation of members of the diplomatic corps at the Unity Palace, consisting of ambassadors, high commissioners, chargés d'affaires, and representatives of international organizations. And at 1:30 p.m., as per the note that came from the Director of Civil Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic, which we are reading to you, end of installation of members of the diplomatic corps, and 2 p.m. presentation of wishes of the diplomatic corps to His Excellency the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, and by 2:50 p.m. that will be end of ceremony. And of course the note is equally detailing the attires that those that will be at the Unity Palace will have to put on. Men will have to put on tailcoat or dark suit, and of course traditional ceremonial skirt suit, formal dress, or traditional ceremonial for ladies. And of course decoration should be worn for those who have medals, and the rest decoration should be worn. Mobile phones, according to the note, are not allowed within the premises of the Unity Palace, and mandatory COVID-19 RDT result less than 48 hours old is needed for those who will be accessing or going into the Unity Palace of Cameroon. And the second part of the ceremony, as per this note, national dignitaries, 12:45 p.m. to 2:15 p.m. will be the arrival and installation at the Unity Palace of national dignitaries. 2:30 p.m. end of installation of national dignitaries, and 3 p.m. presentation of wishes of national dignitaries to His Excellency President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, and by 3:50 p.m. end of ceremony. And of course attire, civilian men will wear dark suit or traditional ceremonial. For ladies, skirt suit, formal dress, or traditional ceremonial. And for Constitutional Council, ceremonial outfit, Supreme Court ceremonial outfit, military ceremonial outfit, and clergy ceremonial outfit. Those were the details that were sent out by the Director of the Civil Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic of Cameroon. We continue with the Emergence newspaper. Emergence this morning is interested in what is happening at the level of the Olembe Sports Complex in Yaoundé. The Ministry of Sports and Physical Education is at war with Majid, the Canadian company that took over the construction of the said sports complex. And of course, recently the officials of the said company said they were not longer going to continue with the work, citing administrative bottlenecks and some other issues. Meanwhile, officials of the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education have also spoken out, detailing what is happening. And of course, we shall bring to you the exclusive interview that was granted by Media Prime Television regarding the scandal at the level of the Olembe Sports Complex in Yaoundé. We end with the Eagle's Eye. The Eagle's Eyes this morning is focusing on the 2022 legislative year. And of course, the paper is interested in those ministers who lifted high President Paul Biya's policies at the level of Parliament. Diongute, Ripo Mutaze, Betty Asomo, Paul Atanganji, and a host of others were the ministers that lifted up President Paul Biya's policies, according to the paper, very high at the level of the National Assembly. Thank you for watching Television on My Media Prime. We are back in the studio to continue with our discussions this morning. And of course, Gwladys Bomotonguina, we are talking about New Year wishes that President Paul Biya will be receiving today as from 12 p.m. Talking about New Year wishes. It's been 2 years, and the gate of the Unity Palace was closed due to COVID-19. Gwladys.
Effectivement, cela fait 2 ans qu'on n'a pas assisté à cette cérémonie des vœux au chef de l'État, son Excellence Paul Biya. Et c'est une grande première en fait, hein, après Covid-19 au jour d'aujourd'hui. Je pense que ça va faire du bien aux Camerounais de se sentir encore reçus au Palais de l'Unité, bien que ça fait encore des dépenses. Ça fait des dépenses.
They say some shows, let me put it that way, a very huge budget that is usually spent. You know, there's always a banquet offered by those who be at the Unity Palace by President Paul Biya and wife Chantal Biya. Money is always set aside for that. And Cameroonians, some of them are worried with the hard times that they are going through. That was this money, was it really necessary for the occasion to take place?
En réalité, Lasha Kinsley, il y a toujours assez, il peut avoir assez d'argent pour faire toutes ces choses et pour que les Camerounais soient aussi bien traités ou bien se sentent bien au Cameroun. Quand on regarde l'inflation de presque tout, ce qu'on a comme produit dans nos marchés. Au jour d'aujourd'hui, c'est vrai que le budget qui est alloué parfois pour cette cérémonie est énorme, mais je pense que le véritable problème n'est pas au budget alloué à la cérémonie. Le véritable problème est le problème de management des finances qu'on a au Cameroun.
Okay, Gwladys, we equally have the scandal rocking the sports complex, Olympic Sports Complex in Yaoundé, and yesterday management of the company Magil that was given the contract, they have spoken out regarding the said scandal, and equally the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education, officials of that ministry equally came out yesterday and they talked about what happened, and they said they have spent up to over 42 or 43 billion. That's the amount that has already been disbursed or handed over to Magil, the Canadian company that was supposed to be constructing the sports complex in Olimbe. I don't know, let's find out from our producer if that exclusive interview is ready. Maybe we'll have it before we open our lines for televiewers who call us and tell us what they think about the New Year wishes of President Paul Biya and the scandal at the level of the Olimbe Sports Complex in Yaoundé.
The government, in order to start paying Magil again, wanted Magil first to justify the use of the amount that they have received from the government, and they also want Magil to relaunch the construction works at Olimbe, particularly as far as the hotel is concerned, the mall, the gymnasium, the swimming pool, and other components. Unfortunately, Magil did not really comply and fulfill on these conditions. That is the reason why the Ministry of State, Secretary General of the Presidency, decided to stop the payment of Magil. Yes, the next steps is that, first of all, the Ministry of Sport is determined to continue the construction works at Olimbe, being with Magil or without Magil. So I think that a certain number of proposals have been done to the presidency, and one of this proposal is that since we have local subcontractors who have the experience of this complex, we can work with these local subcontractors and looking for a director of projects, maybe an individual of a company, who can accompany them and then achieve, all the components of the Olimbe complex. And instead of going to look for foreign money, foreign funds to continue these construction works, maybe it will be more easier to use public funds to fund, the achievement of the Olimbe Sport Complex.
Thank you, Mr. Producer. Thank you for that excerpt. That's the first part of the exclusive interview granted my Media Prime yesterday by the Technical Director #1 at the level of the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education. He equally mentioned in that interview that over 42 billion francs CFA has been disbursed already to that said company for the construction of Olembe, but the company apparently was not doing the job that it was supposed to do. Reasons why the Secretary General of the Presidency stopped or asked the company to stop work, as per what that technical director number 2 was, or technical advisor number 2 was saying in that interview, Gwladys. And of course, many Cameroonians are waiting to see what will come out of that decision, as a proposal has already been tabled at the level of the Prime Ministry for local contractors, like he did mention, to take over the project, those who have a mastery of the sports complex.
Lasha Kinsley, c'est un autre scandale qui vient s'attacher à plusieurs autres scandales que nous avons déjà observés au Cameroun. On parle ici du stade d'Olembe, un stade qui était censé être livré avant que la CAN ne se joue. Mais au jour d'aujourd'hui, on parle encore de l'acheminement ou bien l'achèvement des fins des travaux de ce complexe. Et à ce moment, on se pose la question de savoir, mais qu'est-ce qui s'est passé en fait? Pourquoi est-ce que cette société McGill a abandonné les travaux? Est-ce que à ce niveau, je pense qu'on a effectivement besoin d'enquête. On a besoin d'enquête pour connaître exactement ce qui s'est passé. Pourquoi est-ce que McGill n'a pas encore livré le complexe
From their explanation, they cited administrative bottlenecks.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Mr. Oben calling from Limbe.
Yes, Mr. Oben. We are talking New Year wishes and scandal at the Olembe Sports Complex.
Mr. Lasha, good morning.
Good morning once again.
Yes, the Olympic Stadium, before Maggie was coming with the contract that was handed to Maggie, they have the contract policy that the government has given them. So the government needs to know the policies that have been set aside for the contract. So if they have the policy that is set aside, it's definitely that they have to look at the policy which they have with the contracting firm. So if they see that they are bringing in international firm that cannot be able to do their job, then they are saying that they have a subcontracting firm in the country which they can be able to do their job. Why not give the subcontracting firm in the country?
But it has been opened at the level of the Prime Ministry, from what...
Yes, it's been opened now at the level of Prime Ministry when Maggie, the international firm, has failed.
And they have already collected 14 billion.
Why do we always go for international firms when we know that we have companies here in Cameroon who can be able to do the job?
Okay.
So we need most at times Cameroonians to do our job.
But
we
Cameroonians,
have Cameroonians who can be able to do the job.
Are Cameroonians honest enough to be able to handle such projects? Are they honest enough? Are they disciplined?
Mr. Lasha, we know that in terms of discipline, the government is indirectly telling us that he cannot be able to discipline his citizen. When we start asking questions of people who are not disciplined, people who are disciplined, it means that the government is telling us that he is unable to discipline the citizen. If the contract is being awarded to a citizen in Cameroon, they have all the files, information about the citizen. So if the citizen is unable to do the job, the government has the priority to bring down the citizen.
But we have people who have put a bag of cement for 17,000.
Which means that we have a problem of lack of follow-up from the government.
Okay.
Which means that we have a problem of lack of follow-up from the government. Okay. So the Ministry of Commerce has the sole responsibility to do a follow-up to ensure that the prices have been laid down by the government for the suppliers to supply, and for those retailers to sell those products, sell at the appropriate price.
No, we are talking about people in their, I don't know how to put it, tenders or whatever. They state in those, contracts that a bag of cement costs 17,000 francs. For them to execute that project, they will need that a bag of cement be given, or they pay them 17,000 francs. That's what they put in their project, and then you expect the government to still hand those kind of projects to people who are not honest enough to do the job?
Mr. Lasha, we have a problem in the country. Our problem here with the government is the follow-up. That is just the simple problem we are having. When you give a contract to somebody and you don't do a master of follow-up, what do you expect?
Okay. Thank you for contributing, sir.
All right, you're welcome.
Gwladys, follow up. The caller is worried about follow-up. That in Cameroon, there is no follow-up suivi. That whenever a contract is awarded, the government forgets about the contract. The people execute them the way they like.
Il n'y a pas seulement le problème de suivi, il y a le problème de laxisme, il y a le problème du choix du prestataire.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you are calling us from?
I am calling from Loom.
Yes. From Loom. How is Loom this morning?
No, Loom is good.
Okay.
Yeah, about the Olympic Stadium, I think this is it's not a surprise to Cameroon because all of us know our government manages taxpayers' loans. So the Olympic Stadium is not any different because you cannot tell you give a contract to a person whom you already have problems in executing projects to other people, and you still go for the same thing. What do you think that man would do to you? Just take yourself, just in our local degree. You have a person who ever paid debts to his system. Then you also go and borrow money to give to that person. Are you expecting to have the money back? So like Gwladys said, the Olympic Stadium has been used by the Cameroon government as a means of reaching its own people who matter in this country.
Okay.
I don't know what is happening because we are used to such scenarios.
Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Yes, Gwladys. Rapidly before another caller comes in. They say it's a problem of laxism and people are not really, they are not taking their job seriously.
C'est pas... Il y a un problème de laxisme au Cameroun, un problème du choix déjà du prestataire. Au Cameroun, on ne choisit pas, on a l'impression qu'on ne choisit pas le prestataire peut-être en fonction de ses compétences, peut-être en fonction du rendu qu'il peut nous produire, ou bien en fonction des dépenses, ou bien du budget qui est alloué au projet.
Quand vous parlez, ça me rappelle un monsieur qui est soupçonné d'avoir gagné presque tous les marchés publics au Cameroun cette année.
Voilà. Comment un seul individu peut gagner à lui seul tous les marchés publics dans un pays? Les autres sociétés, qu'est-ce qu'elles font? Elles payent des taxes pour rien. Alors, on revient donc à comprendre que au Cameroun, les gens qui sont censés donner les marchés donnent des marchés aux personnes.
I want to make my comments about this Olympic Stadium.
Good morning. Your name, please, and where you are calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Combat George Pambo. I'm calling from Babongo.
Yes.
Yes, this problem of Olympic Stadium, I think the biggest mistake we'll make is to give the contract to Cameroonians.
The biggest mistake we will make, or the biggest mistake we made? I didn't get you, sir.
Road projects. You'll be surprised that they are building a road, and the next day the road is developing holes. And a stadium is not a normal building. When spectators get there, they will pound it. You have thousands of people pounding on the structure. And you give it to Cameroonians who cannot even build roads. No. I think that would be the biggest mistake that we'll make.
So you're against
Let
it?
the government take this thing serious and do something about it. Give it to a foreign company with the expertise and give them the money that is due them. Because this administrative bottleneck is taking us backwards all the time.
Okay. What about the speech of or the New Year wishes of President Paul Biya today? Was that really necessary?
Well, thank God that it's still and
Oh, we're sorry, we cannot keep you. Thank you for calling from Babungo in Gokitunja division of the Northwest region. We are glad to know that you are watching from that end, Gwladys.
Lasha Kinsley, je veux dire, on revient toujours au problème des personnes qui sont censées donner les marchés au Cameroun. On a l'impression que ces équipes-là ne sont pas composées d'experts. C'est-à-dire des personnes qui savent ce qu'ils font comme travail.
Okay, good morning, sir, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lasha.
Yes, let's start with the New Year wishes of President Paul Biya before we go to Olembe.
Yes, I think it's not even necessary. When Cameroonians start drinking water, billions of tons CFA are spent to overnight to New York City for the head of it. I don't think all these things are necessary. When we don't have good drinking water, we don't have adequate health care, but I see millions are spent on all what is not even necessary. How does New Year wishes benefit Cameroonians? Those in enclave areas, how those New Year wishes will benefit them? I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
Let's go straight to the main stadium issue. I think this government needs to understand the fact that it's right time they train technicians. It's right time they train engineers. It's right time we build our own, because I don't understand that there's transfer of technology everywhere. Even in China, China is technology. Look at them everywhere today. But we just create technical schools, we create polytechnics, and at the end of the day, nothing to show for. How can we have good technicians without training them? I think it's right time for us to think how we can revamp our educational systems to bring technicians, to bring technology that will be able to do our own, rather than having people who have nothing to do with construction and spending taxpayers' money and investing taxpayers' money because of the way we make it.
You have Cameroonians who are doing well abroad, those technicians you are talking about, but they cannot come back to the country because of this issue of dual nationality. You blaming the educational system. The caller is gone, Gwladys.
Lasha Kinsley, on est à une posture où au Cameroun, on ne fait aucun effort pour résoudre nos problèmes. En fait, on ne fait jamais des efforts pour résoudre les problèmes du Cameroun afin que demain, on ne se retrouve plus dans les mêmes problèmes. Non, on réagit face aux situations. Ce problème d'Olembe, est-ce que si auparavant, on avait choisi une entreprise camerounaise, je parle bien une entreprise camerounaise qui a le potentiel, pas une entreprise camerounaise fictive, pas une entreprise camerounaise créée uniquement pour gagner ce marché, empocher de l'argent, non. Parce que l'intervenant tout à l'heure a mentionné l'inquiétude d'avoir des prestataires camerounais qui ne vont pas bien faire le travail. Et effectivement, ils ne vont pas faire bien le travail parce qu'ils ne sont pas compétents dans ce travail-là.
What about money moving from hands to hands before getting to
le problème, Lasha Kinsley.
You're supposed to execute a project of 2 billion. The 2 billion gets into an office, 200 million is removed.
Un professionnel, une entreprise professionnelle experte dans le domaine ne va pas se laisser dans ce genre de jeu. Pourquoi? Parce qu'elle connaît la qualité du matériel qu'il faudrait qu'elle achète. Elle a la conscience.
C'est ce que Magil vient de faire.
Lasha Kinsley, si Magil a fait cela, au jour d'aujourd'hui, on aurait un stade Olembe livré.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Well, I'm called Atem Bertrand, calling from Boya.
Yes, right on. We are talking New Year wishes and Olembe Sports Complex scandal.
Yeah, about the New Year wishes, I don't see how a New Year wish would benefit us Cameroonians.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, move on. We are listening.
Yeah, yes. So, about the Olembe Sport Complex. Yeah, and I think really there are competent Cameroonians who could handle that project, but since the government didn't find them competent enough. So that's why we are suffering, because foreigners will come and take our money. At the end of the day, they will not execute the contract. So who will be the one to suffer? So at the end of the day, we are losing money and trust from foreign investors.
Do we really have the people who can execute such projects in Cameroon? Where are they?
Well, yeah. Hello?
Yes, can you move on? I'm asking, do we really have such competent people in Cameroon who can handle projects like that of Olembe?
Yeah, really, there are competent engineers around, but I don't know at the level of the government what criteria they use in awarding these contracts.
Okay. Thank you for your time and your contributions. We appreciate it.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Competent Cameroonians ready.
Il y a des Camerounais, il y a des entreprises camerounaises qui sont compétentes et qui peuvent réaliser ce type de marché. Mais le véritable problème, c'est est-ce que les personnes même qui sont chargées de donner les marchés, donnent ces marchés aux personnes capables de les réaliser? Non. Au Cameroun, ce n'est jamais le cas. On donne le marché.
Vous êtes en train de dire que Taba Mala ne fait pas son travail.
Lasha, je n'ai pas besoin de dire, on a les preuves. On a les preuves. On a des gens qui soumissionnent pour les adductions à l'eau potable. Est-ce qu'on a l'eau potable au Cameroun? Non. Ça voudrait simplement dire que ces personnes-là n'ont pas la capacité ou le personnel requis ou compétent pour réaliser ce projet. Mais on leur donne le marché. Pourquoi on leur donne le marché? Peut-être c'est l'ami de tel, peut-être qu'il est membre du parti politique.
The complaint many of them always give is that when they agree that this is how the contract has to be executed, at the end of the day, part of the money is taken away. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you.
Your name? Where you are calling us from?
Yes, I'm Mr. Emmanuel Mbang.
Yes.
From Kumba.
Yes. How is Kumba this morning?
No, Kumba is fine.
Okay.
Yes. What I want to say is that our government is just fucked up. You understand?
Move on.
And I don't think we have competent engineers in Cameroon who can do this project. We may have them, yes, but at the level of the finishing, that's a problem. That's a problem. And giving this job to a foreign company is not helping the country.
So what do we do? What do we do then? What do we do then? We don't have competent engineers. Giving it to foreigners is not helping the country. What should the government do?
We have local African countries. There are African countries that are well developed and they have the engineers and the potentials to do this. Why can't we go to our closest neighbors, those who are more developed than us in terms of construction? There's Nigeria, there's Egypt, there's Morocco. Why can't we go there? We must not learn from the foreigners. We have Cameroonians who studied abroad. They just need to come back and do this thing.
But now how would they come back with issue of dual nationality?
Well, we must always find our way home. Home is home.
Okay. Thank you so much for contributing, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Je pense que cette histoire de double nationalité est une connerie et une grosse connerie, une bêtise qu'on devrait arrêter au Cameroun. Parce que on ne peut pas se permettre de tout le temps envoyer les jeunes Camerounais en Europe se former. Et quand ils sont maintenant formés et compétents, on ne peut plus les exploiter au Cameroun parce qu'ils ont une double nationalité. Qu'est-ce qu'on est en train de faire? Donc, on dépense l'argent du contribuable camerounais pour envoyer les jeunes Camerounais se former en Europe. Et quand ils sont devenus des professionnels, on les laisse donc travailler pour les Blancs. Mais on est en train de faire quoi? C'est de la bêtise au haut niveau.
est-ce qu'ils ne peuvent pas rentrer comme les Blancs viennent au Cameroun, ils viennent comme les Blancs?
Lasha Kinsley, est-ce que tu
On va
connais...
les empêcher de rentrer comme les Blancs.
Est-ce que tu connais comment il est difficile pour un Camerounais d'investir au Cameroun? Un Camerounais ou un Africain de venir investir au Cameroun. Est-ce que tu sais combien c'est difficile? Parce que il y aura des barrages à tous les niveaux. Il faut que tu donnes l'argent à tous les niveaux pour pouvoir investir, pour pouvoir apporter une plus-value dans ton propre pays. Mais on accorde des facilités aux Européens, je ne sais pas, peut-être par complexe d'infériorité. On accorde des souplesses aux Occidentaux parce qu'ils ont la peau blanche. Quand ils arrivent dans un ministère, donc c'est très rapidement qu'on les reçoit, c'est très rapidement qu'on signe leur contrat. McGill n'est pas la première société occidentale qui vient abandonner un marché en cours de route. Non, ce n'est pas. Je dis, McGill n'est pas la première société européenne qui vient abandonner un marché en cours de route, Lasha Kinsley. Il y a une société italienne qui avait gagné un marché de construction de route au Cameroun et qui avait volé cet argent et abandonné les travaux. Jusqu'aujourd'hui, la route n'est pas construite.
Good morning. Your name, please, and where you are calling us from?
Alexander.
Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Yaoundé.
Thank you. How is Yaoundé doing this morning?
Well, we thank God.
The roads blocked already?
No, we thank God.
Okay. Your contributions, please.
Yeah, about the Olympic Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah, let me first tell you, there's a problem. Before you are awarded a contract, you have already made your budget. There's a person who will execute your budget. If he agrees that the bag of cement that you are saying is 15,000, are you blaming the man who signed it or the man who already bought the cement?
That's a question meant.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because normally, if I have my business and I tell you that, pardon?
Go ahead.
Pardon?
Stop listening to yourself. Just switch off your TV set and follow us directly on your mobile phone.
Yeah, I've done it.
Yes. Move on.
So that what I'm saying is this: don't blame the contractor because there's a person who has already agreed on that price before they negotiate it.
So why not execute the contract? Why take the money now and you don't do the job?
15,000 based on the negotiation of the man who is going to sign.
Okay. No. So you don't blame the contractors, you blame the person who is supposed to discharge the money.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. What about the New Year wishes to President Paul Biya today?
No problem. Let's thank God. We hope look ahead of the speech whether it will execute it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gwladys. The last caller is blaming. He's not blaming the contractors, but the people who approve. For example, that a bag of cement should cost 15,000 for a project, when we all know that a bag of cement does not cost anything less than 6,000 francs.
Lasha Kinsley. À ce niveau, je ne sais pas si on connaît comment les marchés sont alloués au Cameroun. Je ne sais pas si certaines personnes ont déjà pris le temps de chercher à connaître comment est-ce qu'on gagne les marchés au Cameroun, comment est-ce que ces marchés s'octroient et se donnent. En réalité, à ce niveau-ci, toute cette chaîne est à blâmer. Toute cette chaîne est à blâmer. Okay. Que ce soit...
When you get the money now, the problem is why not execute the contract even with a high cost?
Lasha Kinsley, lorsque tu gagnes un marché, dans l'appel d'offres, certainement, on va dire, on paye d'abord, je sais pas moi trop quoi, 20%. D'avance de marché pour que tu commences. 40%, c'est toi qui finances.
Ok. Allô? Your name, please. Where you are calling us from?
Hello.
Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I am Victor. Who you Victor from Yaoundé?
Yes. We are talking New Year wishes and Olembe Sports Complex scandal.
Yes. Actually, for the New Year wishes, it's a tradition and it's almost the same. And the very president that's talking every year, day in, day out. I don't see anything different in it. Because as he talks, sometimes many of the things that he projects, they are not executed. And that's why I see that it's just the same thing.
There's Olembe Sports Complex.
Okay, for the Olympic Sports Complex, I see that the problem is the system, not the contractors. Because the contractors may be there, they may be somehow here, but the bottlenecks that are there in Cameroon, because any office that you go into, there is always a problem of giving something or money changing hands or all that things. Just like you were saying, that every time money is changing hands, and we realize that the money meant for a project is not actually used for that project. It's in people's hands. So my problem is the system. The system actually needs an overhaul. If it's the same system, so we'll hear the same stories year in, year out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you for contributing. Gwladys, the system needs to be overhauled. That's what the last caller is saying.
Le système.
The problem is the system, not the contractors.
Je répète et je réitère que toutes ces personnes-là, toute cette chaîne-là sont le problème. Parce que si en tant que...
je suis un homme d'affaires.
Oui.
Je fais mon business.
Oui.
I'm doing my business.
Oui.
I come with my proposal.
Oui.
That this is how I have to, this is what I need to be able to execute the contract that you send out. So I'm a businessman, I don't care about whatever other thing.
Lorsque tu reçois ton contrat en tant que prestataire, celui qui a été choisi pour réaliser un marché.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The problem with our contractor here is...
your name, please. Your name and where you are calling us from. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I say Dennis from Bamenda.
Okay.
Yes. The problem of our contractor is you scratch my back, I scratch your own. And then the price of the materials on the field, they are so expensive. When you give a contract to somebody to do, with the material that is so expensive, then what do you expect the person to do? Whoever gives the contract to the contractor need a percentage. And then if you go on the field now, you see that you have to do cheap work to benefit something. So that's a problem that is killing us.
And then the cheap work will be validated, right? Is that what they are saying?
Yes.
Because we often see the cheap works validated.
Yes. So that is it. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Donc, on a en face de nous une chaîne qui est complètement gangrénée, complètement pourrie, parce que chacun, il n'y a pas de personne qui travaille pour que les choses soient bien faites. Il n'y a pas de patriotes, il n'y a pas de personnes dans ces postes de décision qui aiment le Cameroun pour se rassurer que le marché soit donné à une bonne personne qui est capable de réaliser le marché, qui s'assure du fait que cette personne reçoive la totalité de l'argent qu'elle doit recevoir pour réaliser le marché. Parce qu'au jour d'aujourd'hui, si tu vas gagner un marché, mon ami, tu vas payer quelque chose. Tu vas dépenser. Alors,
pourquoi on n'ajoute pas ce que tu vas dépenser?
Le réel problème, c'est que tu n'as pas besoin de dépenser pour réaliser un marché. C'est une chaîne de corruption. Tu n'as pas besoin de dépenser pour gagner un marché. Est-ce que tu es capable de réaliser ce marché? Oui. Est-ce que tu as la moralité pour réaliser ce marché? Oui. Est-ce que ton plan financier est celui qu'il nous faut?
Hello?
Oui. On te donne le marché.
Samuel from Kribi.
Yes. Good morning and welcome. How is Kribi this morning?
No, fine.
Okay. Your contributions, we are talking New Year wishes and Olembe Sports Complex scandal.
For the New Year wishes, I know it's something for, we just, even me wishing a happy New Year. But for the Olympic Sport Complex, I want to say our technicians, our leaders, they are not there for us. Because you will not look like the people that are up there. They cannot be there giving a contract. You give somebody a contract and you ask a percentage that is too high. How do you expect that person to execute that contract well? He too needs to make profit. So he can't execute that contract as the population would need. So, and after that, the person that is going to approve it is the same person that has given the contract. So either you do anything, no matter what you do, you just approve it and take his money and you take your own money. So I want to say our leaders up there, they are not for us Cameroonians. Yes.
So what is the way? What is the way forward? A change? Where will you get those Cameroonians? Where do you?
Cameroon.
Where are you going to get those Cameroonians who will be patriotic?
Hello?
Where are you going to get those Cameroonians who will be patriotic?
Lasha Kinsley, moi je suis patriotique. Donc quand vous dites ça.
I don't know, as we are talking, that is the first thing in Cameroon. We need to change. Individuals, we need to change.
No, I expected you to be talking about change of mentality. People, the awareness for people to start becoming patriotic, to love their country. You are talking about change when everybody is almost or behaving almost the same in Cameroon.
That is why I said we have leaders, you know.
No, you are focusing on our leaders. Are Cameroonians also better? Are Cameroonians better? You are focusing only on the leaders. What about the common Cameroonian?
We have to blame them because we voted them to be there for us. They are there for their own benefit, not for the benefit of the country, not for the benefit of the people.
Okay.
So they need to change. And that change needs to start with the father of the house, the father of the country. If you give us contracts, you follow up the contract.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Gwladys, you were not. It didn't go down well with you when I talked about patriotic Cameroonians.
Est-ce qu'il y a des Camerounais patriotiques? Moi, je suis patriote. Oui, je ne peux pas prendre une responsabilité et ne pas l'accomplir normalement.
But you have almost
jamais.
Almost a government, an entire government in Kondengi.
Le réel problème à ce niveau.
Look at what happened with COVID money.
Oui.
Private companies owned by Cameroonians.
Oui.
They also took part in the sharing of COVID money. They didn't execute the contract the way it was supposed to be.
Qui sont les directeurs de ces sociétés privées? Ce sont ces mêmes gens qui sont dans le gouvernement. Je suis désolée. Si tu vas faire les enquêtes, tu vas te rendre compte que ces mêmes personnes qui sont dans le gouvernement, ce sont elles-mêmes qui sont encore les directeurs de ces sociétés. Donc, ce n'est que normal qu'on va se retrouver avec une chaîne où les entrepreneurs, les chefs d'entreprise sont encore ces mêmes personnes-là qui sont dans l'administration pour flouer et détourner de l'argent. Au jour d'aujourd'hui, là, chacun sait, je pense qu'on a raté dans la procédure d'éducation des Camerounais, où on n'a pas appris aux Camerounais que la première chose à laquelle ils doivent penser, c'est au Cameroun.
Okay.
On n'a pas
our last
caller
for the day. Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm Lambert from Kumba.
Yes, Lambert. We have 2 minutes to go. Can you tell us what you think about the two topics?
Yes, the New Year wishes, we know it's a tradition.
Yes.
So let it just go on. Let the expenditures be reduced. Things are difficult.
Okay.
And then concerning the Olympic Sports Complex, Maggi is not the first company to give up. There are about 3 companies which has taken that job and they have dropped it. So what should be the root cause? They should investigate what is happening, that companies are taking up the job and they are dropping it. And some people say our local technicians can't do this job. What are we doing for us to have a school which will train technicians in Cameroon? Are they not technicians from Cameroon working in foreign companies in foreign countries? Why can they not bring in expertise in Cameroon?
Okay.
Concerning budgets, people saying a bag of cement is 15,000 francs. Who are those signing these 15,000 francs to be released to these contractors?
Government officials.
Those people checking this budget for contracts to be established, I think they're also technicians.
Okay.
So there are many things to be done. As you rightly said the other time, if you have a contract of 2 million francs, it enters from one office to the other. Before it comes to you, you have 1 million francs in your hand. What will you do with a million francs? You also want to squeeze it, and at the end of the day, we have a poor work.
Gwladys says you put it in your account.
And people come in to supervise this work, and they realize that the work is not good, they will still be paid, and they will leave the site.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Our time is up.
Come on with this. Please come on with it again some other time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our time is up. Thank you, televiewers of My Media Prime Television, for taking our time to be part of this edition of the program today. And thank you to our callers too, who sacrificed to be part of the program this morning. That's our own way of contributing to nation building. We say we hold you dearly in our hearts. Hopefully, we will be back tomorrow for more on what the newspapers must have said in Cameroon. Gwladys Bomotonguina assisted me in the presentation. The program was produced by Christain Tebong. We are saying bye-bye from this end. Till tomorrow.